Okay, so there's one more thing that I believe that the Lord wanted me to say. That is another prophetic word that I believe He's told me that will come to light in all of this other stuff that I've already been saying about the darkness, the corruption being brought out into the light. This is very important, and we need to pray in agreement with this. That I believe the Lord showed me that it is His will for all of those people, and I'm talking about people in very high levels of secrecy that are involved in this stuff, the super rich, whatever, super powerful guys that just they think that they're going to get away with the corruption that they've been involved with. I believe the Lord showed me that it is God's will for them to be confused, that God is confusing them. They won't understand how something that was supposed to be kept hidden, how it so easily came out into the light, how they got caught so easily, when normally they would never get caught. They would, it would just be like normal, right? They wouldn't get caught. But God actually showed me that those things that would normally happen when everything was going according to plan, that people will turn on each other in those organizations or those corporate or whatever. They'll turn on each other and they'll fight against each other, and they'll be confused. They won't know why they're doing that, and the corruption and the wickedness will actually come to light in many instances because of that, because God Himself confused them, and they didn't know what they were doing. And that was much like, it reminded me of a story in the Bible where, these three armies came against King Jehoshaphat, and they assembled this great big army. And then, God told the Israelites that through a prophet to Jehoshaphat that you will not need to fight in this battle. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. And so they went out praising God without any weapons because they believed Him. They believed what the prophet said, and they believed what God said, that they would not need to fight. So they went out and they found that all that entire army, and I think it had been described as something like, uncountable, like so numerous as the sands of the sea or something. I don't know how it was described, but it was just like a huge army, like very large army that was very intimidating. They went out, and that entire army of people that were enemies that came to decimate Jerusalem, they all turned on each other. They all fought against each other because God confused them. It says that in the Bible. Can't remember where. I think it's like 2 Chronicles 20 or something. I can't remember. Anyway, you can look it up. But I really believe that God showed me that it was like that. It was like how God confused them so that they fought against each other. They were going to fight against Jerusalem. They were going to fight against Jehoshaphat. But instead, God confused them, and they fought against each other, and they killed each other, like every last one of them, all the way to the very last person. No one escaped. They were all there, just dead on the battlefield. When Jehoshaphat and his people, his army, came to the battlefield, they looked out and they saw that great sea of people just completely annihilated, because they actually did it to themselves. They annihilated themselves. And it was such an awesome victory, but it was so clearly, done by the Lord. And I believe that God told me that that's the way it is like. That this corruption, this massive corruption that is being exposed right now, is being done in such a way that is so clearly evident that only God could do that. And I believe that He's doing it through confusion. I think that these high officials are just being confused. So I wanted to share that as well, because it was also something that I believe He showed it to me. And when it comes out and people start to see how all these, all these news stories and other things about how these unthinkable things are happening, where like people that seemed untouchable are coming down, where they're actually being brought to justice because of what they were involved with. When that starts to happen, people are going to find that the investigations uncovered things that are like, how did they get caught doing that? How could they be so stupid? Just watch and see.